combo package with Big Dex and Christian in the I formation, and then also the one that you ran for Garrett Williams on a special day.
You know, that was pretty cool. You know, and I try not to get caught up in the moment, you know, much because I got to stay focused on what I'm doing. But, you know, going into it, we knew that Garrett was a legacy guy down there, and so we wanted to make sure that we found a way to try to get him in the end zone, and then to do it on a play very similar to how his dad scored. That was pretty special. And then Christian and Dex, we know what they mean to our program, and just the type of young men that they are, and to come in on a Tuesday and say, hey, we got a thought, we're going to put you back there, let's see what you do. And they took ownership. You know, it's not easy to take a 300 pounder, teach him how to take a handoff, teach him aiming points in his track, and he looked very natural back there. And then also to get TJ Chase a touchdown down in his home state. And so our guys, they really accepted the challenge, and that's what makes it fun. When they accept the challenge to give us an opportunity to do that, that's what makes it fun.
Does this speak to how well the offense is playing right now, that you're able to do things like that where you can go into a game and say, hey, we're going to try to get Garrett a touchdown and try to get TJ a touchdown?
You know, I think every week when you start, you know, you have great ambition, and then obviously the course of the game is going to dictate it. And we knew that in order to be able to do some of that stuff, obviously we got to be really, really fundamentally sound. We got to protect the ball, we got to protect the quarterback, and create those situations for it to happen. And it looks like just from a communication standpoint and a confidence standpoint, things are starting to click for us on offense. We still got areas to improve, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You come off of a performance where on the outside everything looks great, but there's still a lot of things that we can challenge our guys. And knowing that we're going into the championship phase of the season, starting here in a couple days in November, so it's a lot of fun to have success. But then also it's assuring to a coach to know that you got a lot to coach off of too.
Tony, it seems like maybe more so than other programs, you guys really make it a priority to have fun, enjoy the grind, and even things like personal touches, like you just mentioned, guys in their home state. Could you just kind of address that a little bit and talk about that approach of making it kind of special?
You know, it starts with Coach Sweeney and the vision that he has for the program, and one of the bullet points is to make sure that these guys have a great experience. And so first it starts with Coach Sweeney creating an environment where the coaches, you know, enjoy coming to work every single day, and we can show them what it looks like to be a father, to be a husband, and that just gives us the drive and the passion to take advantage of every single day. And then you see how hard these young men work every single day, how they conduct themselves off the field, and then you have an opportunity like a Maverick Morris to see him transition from a player to now a coach. So it just makes it, you know, you really have that family environment. And I think that every one of us that are here, you know, we want to do special things for our children and our family members. And so when you have that connection with the guys, it just resonates, and they take pride in it. And they know that if they come to work every single day, they're going to have an opportunity to play. And then in key situations, when the opportunity presents itself, they're going to be rewarded like this past week.
Was that kind of talked about early in the week at all? Like, okay, this guy's from here. I mean, is that putting maybe too much into it, or no? Okay, this guy's from Florida. This guy's maybe Christian, obviously being from Massachusetts when you go there.
You know, the Christian and Dexter, we have that plan every single week. You know, we try to have fun with that, and obviously not just have fun, but it gives us an advantage when you got 700 pounds back there, and nobody wants to come tackle those guys. So that's more week to week. We just try to find ways to expand their package and have fun with that. But Garrett, you know, that was a situation, what Garrett's meant to this program, how he came back from his injury, just how dedicated and selfless he is. You know, that was a conversation that we said, you know what, we want to try to, if we can, you know, find a way to get him in the end zone. And we had an opportunity before that too. We tried a little quick sprint out to him, and they had a good defense call, so we weren't able to get it there. So we had a couple ways that we wanted to try and make sure. And then TJ's just kind of worked out in his situation late in the game. He did a good job on his route. Chase did a great job of extending the play, and they connected. But Garrett was a conversation that we said we want to try and help this young man out.
Tony, freshmen shouldn't always play this well, but what's making Trevor excel in this offense week after week?
You know, I think we're becoming more comfortable as a staff with where he is, what he's comfortable with. He's communicating with us to let us know the things that he likes, the things he doesn't like. He's getting a ton of reps, so he's getting all the reps. He's getting the game reps, and so he's just becoming more and more comfortable. And we all know, and I say this all the time, how talented he is. But I think now he's just becoming more confident, more comfortable, and you're seeing his talent just come to the surface.
Is it surprising to you at all that he's taken to it this quickly, or could you see, I don't know, back in January and spring ball of it?
I think you could see it a lot like with Deshaun and how he handled his recruiting process. You see the maturity of the young man. You see the family support that he has. He's unbelievably humble, unbelievably grounded. His confidence is in his work, which was a lot like Deshaun. So you knew that he had all the makings. It was just a matter of time for that light to come on and for him to get his opportunity. And now he's just taking advantage of it and making the most of it. And he doesn't get fazed by the stage. He doesn't get fazed by the hype. He just focused on being the best version of himself, and that's why he's successful.
What's it like coaching a guy, freshman that comes in with that level of sort of maturity, understanding of the game, sort of professionalism, and the way that he approaches things? Is it I guess, an easier job of communicating and coaching a guy like that up?
I think it depends on the individual. I think that Trevor comes from a great high school program, and Coach King and those guys are doing an unbelievable job with him. And so he had that preparation, coming in the door. And then now that he's in the position that he's in, he's becoming more comfortable. That communication is taking place a lot with him and Coach Streeter. And then now he's becoming more comfortable talking with me as well. And I try not to get in his ear. Obviously, I let Coach Streeter do most of the talking, and I just like I told Deshaun, you talk to me through Coach Streeter, because obviously that's a critical position, and you need to have as minimal voices in his ear. But now he's getting to be more comfortable just coming up to me in the course of practice, especially on some protection things, because we're giving him some more ownership there, a lot like we did Deshaun, to change some of the protections and get us slid the right way. So it's fun. But then you look at like a Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins was very similar, but he didn't talk. Sammy wasn't going to say anything. He just went out and he just played. And then Deshaun was a little bit different. It took Deshaun a little while to become more comfortable. So I think when you're asking that question about the freshmen, it just depends on their personality type and where they are.
Coach, ordinarily when you lose your starting center going into a place like Bill Campbell, be a pretty big concern. But with what Gage has shown you in his playing time this year and what he's shown you in practice, no concern at all with him?
No question, and shout out to Gage. I mean, he did an unbelievable job, and that's just a testament to the philosophy that we have of playing those guys. We get questions every week about how many guys have played, what about the rotation on the offensive line, do you worry about that? But in times like this, it pays off. You get those guys experience. So he's played at center, he's played at guard, and then he saw how Chase stepped up and when his number was called. So we just tell the guys that you got to be ready, because they're really one snap away from either in the game or on the practice field from being in a starting role. And one of the things that I told him, I said, look, now you're driving a Maserati, now you can't crash it. Now this isn't a big block Chevy. Now this thing is fragile, so make sure that you understand what you're doing. And he just kind of laughed it off. But I could see that when he knew that he was going to be the guy, his demeanor changed. And it's always something different about being a starter. But really, really proud of him. And I think that his guys up front rallied around him, and he was able to go out and you talk about going into that environment. We knew we were playing one of the top rush defenses in the country. I mean, they got some prolific pass rushers coming off the edge, and to come out where we only had 2 negative plays. We did have a couple of false starts, and that wasn't on Gage. That was just guys trying to get a jump on number 99. 99 is a great player, fastest we'll see, probably, in a generation coming off that edge. I mean, we haven't seen one faster than him off that edge, but no sacks, only 2 negative plays. The guys really, really rallied around him and stepped up to the challenge.
Dabo mentioned last night that he'd like to see Travis be a little more disciplined.
Yeah.
And what areas can he still improve when he does have the ball?
Biggest thing with Travis is just, quit trying to be Superman. I tell him all the time, sometimes you go from being a hero to a zero. Don't be a hero, just do your job. And if you watch early in the game, everyone's going to want to point out the offensive line. We didn't get it going, but the first 2 runs, Travis missed it. He didn't want to be patient. And again, that's his running style. I mean, he's so confident that he can break tackles. He's so confident in his physicality and his speed that a lot of times he doesn't want to wait on the offensive line. And I think we had the best block play we had. We're down in the red zone, and he outruns the tackle. If he just slows down and lets the tackle get out in front of him, we had a wall built he's going to walk in. So the biggest thing is just getting him to understand the different schemes, who your lead blockers are, and then just trusting the process and being patient. That's where he's got to grow. And I think, and you saw it, like you watch up at Wake Forest, he's a little giddy early, but then, he started to slow down, trust it, and then bang, he hits a big play, and we tell him that it's my job to get you to the line of scrimmage, my job to get you to that second level, and then it's your job to take it the distance. And so we just got to continue to work every single day. And he's got a great attitude about it, but he's still a young guy, and you come off of a game where you didn't quite have the production that you wanted, then sometimes you start pressing. And I think he pressed on his first 2 runs, and then obviously we got to get the game, established. We kind of got to get control of the game, and we found some holes in the passing game, and then we tried to come back, and then he hits one for 15, he hits one for 10 because he's being a little bit more patient.
You touched on it, but how receptive is he to that kind of coaching?
Oh, he loves it. You know, he loves it. He's each one of them I got to coach different. You know, I can't coach Taven the same way I coach Travis, and I don't coach Adam the same way I coach Taven. But he's a guy that likes for you to get on him, and he wants to be coached because he knows that he's talented. He's not conceited in that, and he knows he can run. He knows he's physical, but he also knows that he doesn't understand, you know, all of the schemes yet, and so he needs me to coach him hard. But I thought he made progress in pass protection. You know, you watch him. There was a couple of times where he stepped up and he's fitting a linebacker and he's fighting all the way through the whistle. So I thought he made some progress there, but I thought his first couple of runs, he was just a little bit too juiced up and didn't wait on his blocking.
I noticed that with Tavian, he's starting to get a lot of those dirty yards for you. He's the guy you guys like to kind of go in there and just get it down to the two. He may not be finishing the drive, but he's getting you there.
Yeah, probably his best run. And they actually should have had a stop. They had the box overloaded. They looked like they went to a bare front, and they had about 8 guys down there, and he made a cut in the backfield. And that's, you know, the things that I'm going to point out when we watch the film today and say, man, this is what I've always seen you being capable of. You just got to commit to it every single day. And he was determined, and so he ran through several blocks, got it down to the 2-yard line, and would have loved to reward him. But then that was a situation too where we said, you know what, he's been in the end zone a couple of times. Let's get Garrett an opportunity.
Tony, you guys have Louisville's had not having the season they want to have. What do you guys see on tape as you studied them so far?
Man, and the first comment is you cut on the back shot. First, you watch them versus Alabama, and they played good for a while, and so they're still talented. They're still very talented, and they got a lot of D linemen that they roll in there. The linebackers are big. They got a couple of experienced guys in the secondary. Still young at some spots. That's what you're seeing more so than anything is some of the youth is just starting to show up as you get later in the season. But we know that it's been close in the past versus these guys. They're coming in with the desire to win, and we're gonna get their best effort. And they're very capable. You know, they got some really good looking bodies on that defensive line that flash at times, and you know they put it all together. They're gonna be scary.